Welcome to the deep dive. Most of us, we chase wealth. We think it buys security, maybe happiness, even a kind of wisdom.
Hmm.
But what if our deepest sources, from ancient stories to modern thinking, actually show that pursuing abundance, well, it can sometimes be our biggest mistake?
It's a fascinating paradox.
So today we're diving into some really compelling sources about greed and wealth. We're going to focus particularly on a powerful biblical story, the parable of the rich fool.
Right.
And our mission really is to unpack what true wealth might mean and how we handle our possessions actually shapes our whole lives.
It's a topic that feels ancient, yet it's incredibly relevant right now, isn't it? It
Yeah.
really challenges how we think about success and security.
Yeah, definitely. And our sources, they consistently point out that money itself, well, it isn't inherently evil. It represents power, sure, opportunity, ability.
Or as a tool.
Exactly. But there's a fine line, isn't there, between like healthy ambition and actual greed. And greed is described here as this inordinate, insatiable desire.
Hmm. Something that just takes over.
Yeah, it overrides your moral compass, your spiritual integrity. It just distorts everything.
And this is precisely where wisdom traditions, like the story Jesus tells, they really step in. Someone asks them to sort out an inheritance fight,
Ah, okay.
and his response is pretty stark. He warns, one's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions.
Wow, straight to the point.
And then he tells this story about a rich man.
A man who, by all worldly standards, seemed really sharp, wise, even successful.
Oh, absolutely. By all accounts, he was doing great. He was this successful farmer, very productive.
Okay.
And he wasn't wasteful. He planned, he saved, he prepared for the future. He saw he had a huge harvest, more than he could store.
Right. So he thinks practically.
Exactly. Builds bigger barns. From a business perspective, you'd say he was astute, forward-thinking.
Okay, let's unpack that, though. Lots of successful people plan and save.
Good.
So what was his fatal flaw, according to these sources? What made his focus so wrong?
Well, it's fascinating. The issue wasn't the planning itself. It was the overwhelming, total focus on himself.
Ah.
Our sources highlight how often he uses I and my. It's all, what shall I do? I will tear down my barns. I will store my crops and my goods. I will say to my soul.
Right, right. It's all inward looking.
Precisely. And that relentless self-focus, the sources argue, is what leads God in the story to call him a fool.
A fool, despite all his planning and success.
Yes, because he thought his financial security automatically meant, well, total security. He lived as if this life, this relax, eat, drink, and be merry existence.
Isn't it all there is? The ultimate goal.
Exactly. That was his whole reality.
And this is where it gets really sobering, isn't it? The sources point out what he just completely forgot.
He forgot it's temporary.
Yeah.
All of it. As one source puts it quite bluntly, ain't no hearse with a trailer hitch.
Huh. That's memorable. You really can't take it with you.
You can't. His vast wealth, his security, it was all temporary, not eternal. That's the tragedy.
So putting these threads together, what's the big takeaway from the sources about what money can't buy, what truly matters?
Well, the consistent message is that money, despite all its power, it just can't buy the things that give life its deepest meaning.
Like what specifically?
Things like peaceful sleep, genuine insight or intellect, lasting health, real friendship, a good reputation you can count on, a longer life, or even, a real sense of purpose, maybe salvation, depending on the framework.
So this man, he was rich financially.
But spiritually bankrupt.
Yeah.
Totally impoverished in the ways that count. He was missing what some sources call the blessing of generosity.
Okay, so that brings us to the alternative. What does it mean then to be rich toward God, as these sources put it? Is it just about religion?
Not necessarily just formal religion, no. The sources frame it more broadly. It's about where you place your ultimate trust, your ultimate value. It means recognizing that real security, real fulfillment, it doesn't come from what you have. It comes from a deeper connection. You might call that spiritual, or connection to community, or to something larger than yourself.
And that shift changes things.
It allows your focus to move away from just selfish accumulation towards, well, shared abundance, maybe generosity, a deeper purpose.
Right. And this generosity, it's described as a learned virtue.
Yes, something you cultivate, a quality of the heart, really. It motivates you to share, to give, not just money, but time, talent, energy. It reflects a different kind of richness.
Well, it's not about earning salvation or anything like that.
No, the sources suggest it's more about responding to something bigger. Maybe call it grace, finding freedom from that anxiety of always needing more, freedom from greed's grip.
So ultimately, this deep dive leaves us with a pretty clear choice, doesn't it?
It seems so.
Be rich toward this world, focused on accumulation, or be rich toward something, well, more enduring. It really pushes you to think, where does your true treasure lie? What are you actually blooming?
And that raises a really interesting final thought. Our sources kind of hint that often we only want that deeper connection, maybe God, maybe community, when we need help.
When we're in trouble.
Right. But we shy away from letting it get too close, from letting it define us. So what if the real challenge isn't just about being less greedy, but about allowing something bigger, something beyond ourselves, to become your actual ultimate treasure?
And how would that transform everything? Your whole relationship with wealth, with possessions?
Exactly. Something to really mull over